Alright guys, welcome back to Stevie Tech. This week we're going to do the top games of the week. These are going to be some unique games, so let's check out the first one with S.I.M. This is a unique game where you basically are going through and playing with an emulator of what appears to be an iPhone. But basically you found this person's phone is the objective of the game, and you're trying to locate the person to give it back to them, help them find Sarah. It is called Sarah is Missing. It is free in the Play Store, and you should check it out. It's pretty interesting. Basically, the gist of it here, it goes through this whole restore. There's certain things that are messed up. Gives off a pretty creepy element as well. Iris, interesting, is your companion or helpful person here that goes through and tries to get you to check out certain aspects of the game. Helps you unlock certain things. Now, with this, you can go in and talk back and forth to Iris, as well as there's different options where you can go in and text certain people, and you actually get the ability to go through and pretty much snoop through this person's phone. It's kind of interesting if you ever wanted to do that, but not, of course, get in trouble for doing that. It does have a few different pre-written options, as you can see. It's not exactly the longest game in the world, but it is quite intriguing. It's very interesting. You should go check it out. Now, with this, the next one that we got pulling up here, that one is going to be a game called Replica. Now, Replica is going to be another interesting game where you're going through and you're basically going through this person's phone. The graphics on this one are not nearly as good as the first one of S.I.M, but this one, it is interesting as well because basically what's happening here is you're going through and you have to unlock this person's phone, and you have nothing to use to do that. It's an interesting way of having to find that information. But you go through and you basically have access to their apps and things like that. You have no login information, so you have to go and search through different aspects of the phone to find these things. Now, with this one is basically got a plot line of a terrorist. This phone was found at a terrorist organization on somebody that's suspected to be a terrorist. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to find information, going through their feeds and things like that, for Homeland Security to determine who or if this person is a terrorist. You get different objectives and tasks in the To-Do app, which is where you basically check your goals and things like that. You can run through all their pictures and things, as you can see. Again, the graphics on this one are not nearly as good as the first one, so you're not really looking at any type of actual photo. You're looking at more of a abstract-looking painting. It is interesting for what it is. This one, again, it's not the longest game in the world, but it is pretty fun and interesting. Again, if you like to go through and kind of check into somebody's personal life, they did a pretty good job creating that type of atmosphere. Now, with that, it does give you access to all the apps that you've seen on the screen there. You do get messaging on this one. You can message back and forth with the different people in there. The messages that you send can only be sent directly to the agency that you're working for, trying to get this information. This one had a few different twists and turns to it. It's really interesting. But with that, again, like I said, you can go ahead and change just about anything. But the next one that we've got coming up here is actually going to be a game, and this one is another simulation game with cell phone simulation. I find these very interesting. This one is actually not going to be as interactive as the others were, but I went ahead and made the list because, again, I have never seen any games that actually go through and give you this option. And, of course, I don't really play too many mobile games, but I wanted to throw this one out there and include it in here because this one was it was interesting and gives you a lot more that you can do than the others. The graphics may not be the best, but there's not certain features and things that are locked out. You do have to go through and find login information and things for the different apps and things that are on the phone, but you have access to all their messages. None of them are locked. You have access to the full calendar, as you can see. Once you've got the login information and the Wi-Fi codes and things like that you find throughout the messaging and certain settings and notepads, things like that, then you can go in and actually and get in there, and it's really interesting. There is the whole scheme there again of the kind of painted, abstract-looking pictures. With that, we've got, of course, the apps you see on there. This one, it turned out to be interesting, but it again wasn't the longest, but there are hard parts. Now, the next one here is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. This one, of course, is probably not for everybody, but if you've ever been a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the show, the manga, or the actual card game, this one is kind of fun. This one you go through, and you basically get to play with different characters. You get to go through, you can play with Seto Kaiba, Yugi Moto, all the different main characters from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Gives you different options, different people that you can actually duel. You can build your own decks. The rules, of course, are not going to be as though any type of official tournament ruling. This is more of just a fun video game where you're playing more or less in the old school ways of the television show and the series and things like that. You do get to play Legendary Duelist by going up to the duel gate there. You get, My Valentine. There's all kinds of different things that you can go in and do here. You have, of course, the duel school here, which you can go in, and it basically teaches you how to play, the game as though you're playing it through the video game. Again, this isn't something that I would take into, you're going to go learn everything there is to know about the card game, because you learn aspects, but it's not the same. Of course, you've got the shop here where you can go in and buy different card packs and get different things. Some of the more interesting ones here that you have access to is going to be just different types of packs and things that you can receive. Of course, they allow more packs to be purchased and things later on throughout the game. This is just kind of a quick basic overview of some of the different purchase options. There are in-app purchases in this game, but it is free to download. It's fun to check out right here. Obviously, he's got a good pack there. It's the little Egyptian hieroglyphs, and got the pictures pulled up there. There's always 3 cards in each pack. It shows you the new ones, and then it shows you your super rare, whatever you want to call them there. But those are some interesting things as far as those are concerned. Now, of course, with that, they give you a listing of all the cards you got during that purchase, and then you can go in and edit your decks. Right now, there's not too many different characters and things that I've messed with on it, but it is fun. Again, it's free. You can go through and we've got this little example here of kind of the interaction between characters. There's a duel going on here that I went ahead and kind of threw in some of the highlights of, I guess you could call it. There's this person here. Obviously, it's it's kind of interesting. It gives you the whole 4,000 life points. Again, it is not anywhere near any type of official gameplay, but official trading card gameplay. This is going to be more or less just a fun little video game. It's very popular now. Went ahead and downloaded it and started checking it out here. Playing with Kaiba, and it takes a minute or two to get going. Of course, you got to go through all your different aspects, and again, there is a tutorial whenever you turn it on. You can go through. You can also go through the duel school. It teaches you all of the the basics there, different things you can and cannot do. Let's see here. Now, if you look through there, there's different things that what's going on here, and looks like activated D-Spell. Unfortunately, it was a trap card, but right now with this person that I'm playing, the computer's not very good whenever it comes to this person, this particular character, Daniel. But it's fun. Again, there's not a whole lot going on. Just want to give you a couple examples of maybe a turn or two on here. And this is kind of he lost and losing screen. But it's interesting. Here's a kind of a little communication between the two, and then you go back out into what they call the Duel world. And you can go in and change your characters, and there's all these different characters down at the bottom. There's still a few that, again, have not been unlocked, but they do add different characters all the time. Now, the next game is one you probably heard a lot about, Super Mario Run. Now, this one is got a free demo in the Play Store, but it is $9.99 to purchase the full version. I have yet to purchase the full version. Right now, looking at it here, you go through, you can pick different things. This puts you in mind of a cute little Mario game. For one of Nintendo's mobile games, it is not bad. You unlock different characters. I've unlocked Yoshi here on the demo, which is pretty cool that you can still unlock stuff without having to purchase the whole thing. It does give you different things here. That's just going to be one of the normal levels or the courses as you run through, and then you tells you your level status and things. And on top of that, there's instead of just the world tour mode, you also have rally mode. Rally mode is actually where you're going up on a level against an opponent, another person playing the game, and seeing if you can beat their score. You have to pretty much race their character through and collect as many coins as possible without losing coins or having your character die. And whenever you go through and you complete this, if you win, then you get little toadstool marshmallow guys there on the screen. And for the more of them that you have, then the more things you can unlock. This one kind of ran through